Bang. Action.
Thank you, Baz.
Oh, well, my day off, but I thought I'd help you out there.
Appreciate it. It's Jabba for Weekend Sunrise with the one and only Baz Luhrmann. Baz, welcome to the show.
I always love being here.
The sign is crooked.
No? Well, yes, it is. Oh, my God. Catherine Martin should be blamed. Cut. We can't work like this.
Yeah, let's strip some Oscars off us.
But then I've skewed the movie a bit. Like, the movie is not an ordinary, biopic. It's a skewed biopic, I think. It's called Elvis, but it's actually Never Colonel, Never Tom, Never Parker's story.
There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, Amadeus, is that about Mozart or is it about some guy called Salieri who's no one heard from going, why'd you put genius in that guy? So
that envy, jealousy.
Yeah, to me, is the way Shakespeare wants to take a historical figure and use it as a canvas for bigger ideas or smaller ideas. I'm not trying to say I'm solving the universe, but I am exploring these two great American things of the cell, the show and the biz, the cell and the spirit, those two opposing things that if they're balanced, they're good, but when they get out of whack, well, that's what we're going through now.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, I notice your name comes up a lot on the poster.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, and I'm not very happy about it.
On the trailer,
yeah.
How many roles do you have on the film?
I tell you what, the poster thing, I shouldn't complain about it, but it's a WGA thing that I work with a lot of writers, different ones, and I wanted to get all their names on there, and the rule is their name can only be on there if I'm on there with them.
Because you're a co-writer?
I asked for a waiver and couldn't get it. So, I don't need my name all over the place. I need it to let everyone know it's a me film, because that has some validity. But wait until you see the music credits. That's why I have a pseudonym. It's just I just have to suck it up.
What is your favourite role in the film that you take part in? What sucks? What would you like to give away?
Well, my favourite role is just research. I lived in the South. I had a space at Graceland. Recording music. I love doing the music, but I could research and never make the movie.
Really? That is my favourite part of this gig, is the research.
Yeah,
this part is great.
Yeah, but the actual making of it is that's hard labour, stressful, getting up every morning, 5 a.m, just leading people, trying to be positive, all that. And my favourite part is living, like in Gatsby, I basically lived as Fitzgerald. I really did, with academics, in the different buildings. We even got on an ocean liner, because he did, to Queen Mary, and went on that journey returning to New York, I might have explored the speakeasy bit a bit hardcore, but Sam did the champagne bit. She's held up.
Do you think people know that you deep dive that much in your films? Is that part of the reason they've connected with people, is that it's not a superficial glossy? You have your style.
I think the thing is this, it's sort of a flipped coin. We live it. Extremely academic and extremely exigent in the depth of research, so that it's in my blood and I can answer it. But then I flip it, because I'm not there to do a documentary, to allow the audience a door into it. So in this story, there are some dramatic license to compress time. He lives for 42 years. I can't do a 42-year-long movie. But what's amazing is how many commentators sometimes say, Luhrmann just made up that there was a rally by Senator Eastland at the same time Elvis was doing Russ.
And you could hear it 6 miles away.
Right. Well, actually, you could. You couldn't hear him, but he could hear the cheering.
Wow.
Right? Now, I put the speech, yes, I make the idea that Elvis can, you don't know that. I'm not saying he's actually hearing it. He can hear a sound off in the distance, but he's aware it's happening, And what it's not that he's a civil rights political creature. It's that he's this kid who grows up at some point he's in one of the few white houses in the black neighborhood. I found that man. That little boy in the movie, after a long search, I found him, and he died last year. And everything in that film, when in the gospel tent, when the preacher grabs and says, "Leave him be, he's a spirit," I have him telling me that verbatim. So it's not that they're in compressions, but when MLK is shot, Jerry tells me they're in the van, they're getting ready for the scene, they sit on the TV, he collapses, he says, "Dr. King, you always spoke the truth." I can only do the academic research, speak to the people. I'm the ultimate outsider. God, I'm from Erin's Creek, So, and then tell the story, Now, I also tell a drama, Documentaries purport to be the truth, except it's somebody's point of view.
Of course.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on Elvis?
I mean, I think full-time 5 years now. Like, he's been floating around in my mind. Sam reminded me ever since I met her, and I don't even know when I met her. She's always been there, I hope she still will be. I didn't mean that, love you. I still love you. Like, don't go away.
The leather jacket you're wearing in the film, there's so much in that first hour. When we get to the TV special and it feels like Elvis has kind of lost himself to find himself, he puts on that black leather, I'm not sure if that's a jumpsuit, but he's got the black leather jacket.
It's black leather horse suit, yeah.
It's phenomenal. Is there a deliberate shifting of gears for you as a filmmaker when we get to that point in the story? Is there a real change of pace? What
Yeah, I mean, I did it in 3 parts. There are 3 Elvises. There's Elvis, the sort of punk rocker, who's the 50s. So I shot it. Mandy Walker actually made lenses that were used in the 50s. Then when we're in the 60s, we used 60s lenses. In the 70s, we're using anamorphic. So we actually developed an Elvis lens. So that the reason it feels different, I shoot it differently. So all that split screen, that isn't just Baz doing his old Burko, Baz goes Burko. Wouldn't it be great to do lots of split screens? It's how they made those 2 big documentaries in the 70s with lots of split screen. So I'm just copying that and, nodding to the style of the time.
I love when we get to the end of the film and there's some footage and I lean over to the person I was watching with and I said, is that Elvis or is that Austin? And it was Austin, and then it cut to Elvis. What a find.
You know what? By the way, on that thing, all the young kids, because they're used to AI, where you put someone's face on, they think that is Austin put on Elvis, but that is Austin in a suit. If you look at Charlie Hodge, you'll see that the hair's wrong and he's kind of different. Everybody on that stage is an actor, and then that last moment is the real deal. But, I think what I find is Austin. I think more Austin found it, like me, it, the movie. It almost, the story's out there now about his own personal connection with losing his mum at the same age and thinking he could never get the role and doing this video, and then he sends me this personal moment that he does. And then he comes in and he was Elvis for 2 years just non-stop. And people go like, oh, that's a whole lot of carry on about, method acting. It wasn't that. Like Denzel Washington, who I don't know, rings me and says, this kid has a work ethic like you will not believe. And I wouldn't have believed it, except I lived with it. And then COVID comes and Tom goes and we almost lose the movie. It's going to fall apart. And instead of Austin going like, oh, he just doubled down on the work, like he wouldn't let himself believe it would go away. So to me, it's one of those performances where the actor is being driven by a life and death force, I think.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You've done a tremendous job. I'm being wrapped. I didn't even find out where the Backstreet Boys is in the movie because when that came up, I'm like, where did you hide that?
I'll tell you
real quick.
So when you go to the Hollywood bit, I do these little things where you go like, okay, no matter what I do with Bossa Nova or those, you won't understand that it was doing like bubblegum pop. So there's a sample of Britney Spears' Toxic in there and Backstreet Boys, that little montage of Hollywood?
Yeah.
So if you listen, I've just remixed we've done little tastes. Elliot Wheeler and Jamison have done little tastes of flavours of 90s pop hits.
I love it. Go see Elvis on the big screen, Baz.
It's a big screen movie.